Hello, good evening, everyone. So I'm good, MK. Thank you for asking, by the way. So let's wait for a few minutes. Let's wait so that others can join as well. Meanwhile, make sure that you have those files that has been uploaded on the LMS, the file that we opened yesterday as well. And we will start in next 5 minutes. So the sheets have not been uploaded on the LMS portal. Yeah, I am there. It was just that chats were not visible to me. So Prachi, I guess the sheets have been uploaded on LMS. Can anyone please confirm? If not, I'm uploading it in the chat box. Please get this sheet downloaded. And GY, it would be really difficult for me to summarize what was covered yesterday. Okay, no worries, no worries. If the sheets are not been up, although I passed those sheets to the technical team and I asked them to upload it, but it's perfectly fine if it is not uploaded. I have uploaded those sheets on the chat box. There was no class yesterday because LMS was not working. No, that was not the case. Yesterday we conducted a class and the timing for the class was 6:45 to 8:45. You can find the recording of the class and there were many people who attended yesterday's class as well. Good evening, GA. So I have uploaded the sheet on the chat box. Please get that sheet downloaded, guys. Good evening, Arti. So AI, you don't have the class. Good evening, NC. So you don't have the class. Okay, I'll get that, give that sheets again. The sheet is again will uploaded on the chat box. Please get it downloaded, guys. Please get it downloaded. I have provided you with the sheets on the chat box. Good evening, SG. No sheets yet. Allow me with a couple of minutes. Let me talk to the team and let me know that why the sheets have not been uploaded yet. No worries, guys. So the sheet will be uploaded by the end of the lecture today. Yes, yes, you are in the right class, DA. Don't worry about it. The timings will be fixed from now on. It would be 6:45 only. So the timing won't change from now. It would be 6:45. The timing would be 6:45 for sure. Yes, AR. So GY, have you joined the classes from the mobile app of Zoom? Have you joined the classes through the mobile? Probably that is the reason why. Because some people who have joined the class through the mobile might not see the so I'm really sorry about that, SD. I think might have been informed you on mail about the class timings. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, you want the files again. This is so guys, please from the next time join on time. I am uploading these files for the fifth time, I guess, in today's class itself. Okay, the sheets have been uploaded. Just give me a second. On my chat, file is not showing. NC is saying the file is not showing. NC, have you joined through the mobile app? Those who have joined through the mobile app, probably there might be an issue. The sheets might not have been showing, but it will be uploaded on the portal by EOD. Okay. Yes, these sheets were also shared to you yesterday as well. And that is the same sheet we will be working on. Let me just open that sheet. Okay, perfect. Yesterday, we solved this, if you remember. We solved for every line item, what are assets, what are liability. So yeah, is my screen not visible, guys? Is my screen not visible? Actually, I have shared it. Let me share it again. Now, okay, okay. So that was a technical glitch, SK. There is nothing, no topic with data wrangling and manipulation with respect to investment banking. It is related to data science, and probably the class might have been assigned for your batch through a technical mistake. So that was just a technical glitch. Don't worry about it. So there was no class today. This was the only class that was scheduled from today morning. So yesterday we discussed this. Yesterday we saw all the line items. We saw asset, liability, equity, income, and expenses. No, no, no. So there are technical. So there are the plan is I will be taking all the classes from now on. Okay, Asit. So there was some changes, and I am the one who have been assigned all the batches, and I will be taking all the classes from now on. Is it fine with you? Thank you, thank you. So we have the line items. We have the name of our line items, and we have asset, liability, equity, income, and expenses. We have classified all these line items into different types. So if turnover and revenue is income for me, I have classified it into income. COGS is expense. Profit on sales of investment, again income. Now, just to start with, before starting with the session and solving the case studies, before starting with the session and solving the case studies, I would request you, if you want explanation, go through this, try to justify the explanation to yourself. Take couple of minutes, take 5 minutes if you want. Try to justify this explanation to yourself and let me know if you want me to pay some attention or spend some time through discussion on any of the line item. So you can just read all the line item, justify the explanation, and if you are not able to get, why this particular advertisement cost belongs to expense, please let me know and I will try to throw some light on the explanation part. Ideally, you should remember the funds contributed by the owner will be equity. Elements of income and expenses or elements of income statement will be distinguished or differentiated in income and expenses. Elements of balance sheet will be differentiated in asset and liability. So PG, yesterday we discussed things related to three financial statements, that is balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement. That we saw in detail actually, but I will summarize this for you. We saw what is income statement. If you are from a commerce background, you probably might be knowing this. We saw what is balance sheet. We saw what is cash flow statement. Then we saw what is the format of income statement. What are the variant line items again under all these three financial statements, and how all three financial statements will be connected to each other. We will see that today. So the things that we are going to do today is three statement modeling. Okay. Okay, PG. Thank you, GY. Thanks a lot. So, guys, those who missed yesterday's class for whatsoever reason it may be, I would request you sincerely, please go through the recordings. It was a wonderful session interacting with your peers and teammates, and the responses that I received yesterday was really overwhelming. So, you go through the session, and I am definitely sure you are going to enjoy it. Okay. Meanwhile, those who had not attended, COGS is an expense. Sure. What is the word cost itself is an expense. Income and expenses are part of income statement. What is COGS? COGS is cost of goods sold. So the amount that you have spent on manufacturing something that you have sold. So let's suppose I have sold keyboards worth rupees 100 or 100 million, and I have bought those keyboards for 20 million. So 20 million is the amount that is my expenditure for buying those goods that I have sold for 100 million. That is why COGS is 20 million in this case, and that is why it is an expense. I hope you are getting it here. Few line items that I wish to give explanation from my end, which is a bit confusing. I will highlight those. Meanwhile, if you want any other line items to be highlighted, please let me know so that we can have a discussion on that as well. So one is advance rent paid, deposits paid, salaries payable, working capital loan. Okay, sure. For now, consider working capital loan as any other kind of loan. Also, to understand working capital loan, I will also have to make sure that we understand working capital. Okay. So these are few line items that has been highlighted. If you want me to highlight any other line item, please let me know. Otherwise, we will start with the discussion part. Accumulated depreciation. Okay. Anything else, guys? Please let me know. Otherwise, you are done. Please comment done. Amortization, although amortization we discussed yesterday, still amortization. Okay. Accounts receivable. Accounts receivable is a part of current asset. We saw this yesterday. Still. Okay. That's it. Reserves and surplus. Retained profits. Done. Retained profits. Okay. Are you guys done? Working. Okay. We have multiple discussions to be done on working capital. And when we will discuss working capital, I will address your concerns, Swapnil. Okay. So shall we start with the discussion part? Just give me 1 second. Guys, can you help me out? Can you just take a screenshot or a photo of this? And when I will ask you, give me the name of the line item, will you give me? Can you please help me out? Because when I will open this different window, the earlier Excel page would not be visible to me. So can you please do me a favor? Just take a screenshot, any one of you or any 2, 3 people of you. Okay, done. Are you done, SK? Shall we start? SK, I didn't receive your ticket though. You told me yesterday that you have raised a ticket, but I didn't receive it. Probably I'll receive it tomorrow and I'll schedule the meeting. Okay, rest everyone. Shall I start? Okay, okay, PJ. So what is the first one? First one is accounts receivable. Always remember, when there is something called as receivable, I am about to receive it. It belongs to me and I will be receiving it in future. So that is account receivable for me. Is my voice clear? Is there any disturbance from my end, guys? Please confirm. Okay. Account receivable. What is account receivable? I am going to receive something. It belongs to me and I am going to receive it in future. So it is basically an asset for me. Now let me define you in terms of business. Let's suppose I am a shopkeeper and I have given to you products which you will pay me later, to be paid later by a person, let's say SK. SK has came to my shop, taken something and will pay me later, probably at the end of the month. So SK is liable to pay it. So it is payable to SK. It is account payable to SK. And because SK owes that payment to me, it's account payable and that is liability. But since I am going to receive this from SK, the payment belongs to me and I am the owner of the payment. It belongs to me. That is why it is accounts receivable, because I am going to receive it. And since it belongs to me, it is an asset for me. So when it is an asset, I own that payment. I am the owner of the payment because it belongs to me. When it comes to account payable, SK owes that payment to me. So that is accounts payable, a liability to SK. Everyone clear with this? Accounts receivable, everyone? Are you guys clear with this? Accounts payable is a liability. Accounts receivable is an asset. Next, Advance rent paid. Thanks, SK. Advance rent paid. What does this mean? Okay, you want me to share board like yesterday. Okay, I can do that. Uh, just give me a second. Okay, so make your own notes for account receivable. We will start with this one. That is the first. We discussed accounts receivable. No worries, Swami. If you are absent in the class, just go through the recordings, and in case you feel that you have missed something, you can raise a ticket about. But make sure you go through the recordings first. Accounts receivable. Okay. Got this. Got it. Probably then I might have missed your name. I was searching for your name, by the way. Okay, SK. Accounts receivable is an asset for me because, as I explained you, it is an asset for me and a part of current asset because I am expecting it to receive it within 1 year or one accounting cycle period or one business cycle period. The second one is advance rent paid. Advance rent paid. Now, now there is something called as okay, don't worry. I won't confuse it. Advance rent paid. It means that it means that I am standing in April. Today is 21st of April, and I have paid 60,000 rupees to the landlord. I am the tenant and I have paid 60,000 rupees to the landlord for 10,000 per month as the rent. 10,000 per month is my rent for the next 6 months. For the next 6 months. So today is 21st April. Till the time I have not used, till the time I have not used the property, till the time I have not used the property, I am the owner of this 60,000 rupees. Why? Because if I find that there is some problem with this property, I can ask the landlord to give me back this 60,000 till the time I have not used it. So let's say we are evaluating this on 30th of April, whether I will move out to that shop or commercial property or a factory or a house, whether I should move out to the property or not. So I decided, no, I won't move out. So if I decide I won't be moving out, I won't be using this property, the landlord is liable to pay me back that property. So that is why advance rent paid belongs to me till the time I have not used the property, and that is why it is an asset for me. That is why it is an asset for me. Everyone clear with this? Why advance rent paid is an asset for me? Now, let's suppose if we are evaluating this on 30, not 30th April, the next month, that is 30th May. This was 6 months rent in advance. So that was for May, June, July, August, September, and October. So this was the 6 months rent in advance. Let's say month of May has been passed. Now, can I ask the landlord to pay me back 60,000? No. Can I ask the landlord back to pay me 60,000? No, because I have used the property for 1 month. For 1 month, I have already used the property. So I will record this out of the advance rent of 60,000. What is the remaining rent now? What is the remaining amount that landlord is liable to pay me back if I cancel the contract on 30th May? What is the remaining amount? If the landlord is liable, that is the landlord liable to pay me back, it's now 50,000. So how I will treat this? The 60,000 of advance rent will go to 50,000. And where will be the second entry? We have double entry, right? So where will be the second entry? 10,000 of rent expense. 10,000 of rent expense will be recorded in my income statement. 10,000 of rent expense will be recorded in my income statement. So always remember that what if the amount is 50,000 or any amount it may be, it belongs to whom? Always question yourself, it belongs to whom? If it belongs to you, it is an asset for you. If you are liable to pay it, it is a liability for you. Belongs to whom? This should be your question. Who is the owner? Next, what is the line item? Deposit paid. Simple. Deposit paid. I am again the tenant. Am I not audible? Here, probably there is an issue from your end because no one else is complaining about it. You are the first one to let me know that I'm not audible. Guys, please confirm whether I'm audible or not. Perfect. So let's say AR is the landlord now. I have paid the deposit of $20,000 to AR. When I will leave the property, AR is liable to give me back that 20,000. That is what deposit is. Correct, guys? AR is liable to pay me back that 20,000. Correct. So this 20,000 belongs to whom? It belongs to me. And that is why it is an asset for me. Similarly, what would be deposit received? With the same logic, what would be the deposit received? Let's say deposit received, the amount is 15,000. I have received the deposit for something. Under what heading I will name it? Deposit received. Deposit received. Deposit received would be a liability for me, correct? Although we will see that what would be the second entry, but first try to understand how things works. What is the next line item, guys? Salaries payable. Salaries payable. Salary paid and advanced salary. Salary payable, it is a liability for me because it is my responsibility. I owe the salary to my employees. So that is a liability for me. That is salary. That is why salary payable is a liability. Salaries paid, it is an expense. It is an expense and also a cash outflow. Advance salary, salary paid in advance, it is an asset for me. It is an asset for me. Why? Because let's say I have paid, I am the owner. And IS is a person, let's say, and he works for me. He's my employee. I have given him 50,000 rupees in advance. Remember what I asked you to question, whom does this 50,000 belong to? Who is the owner of this 50,000? Till the point he doesn't serve me for next few months, he is the owner for me. He is liable to pay me back this 50,000 till the time he does not serve me for next few months. or does not settle this advance salary that has been paid. So that is why till the time he has not settled this salary, this is an asset for me. Comfortable, everyone? Everyone, shall we move on? Shall we move ahead if you allow? Anyone who has any confusion in this, any of this, please let me know. So AM, let's say you have asked for advance salary from your boss. Your boss has paid you 50,000 of salary in advance. 50,000 of salary in advance. If the boss asks you that I am in serious trouble, Apurv, I am in serious trouble, AM, please give me back my 50,000. Will you have to give it? Will you have to give it, AM? If the boss asks you next day that yesterday I gave you 50,000, please give it back to me. So you will have to give it. So who is that owner of the 50,000? Your boss. Your boss is the owner of that 50,000. I will come to your point here. Just give me a second. Let me explain this. Let me complete this. So that is an asset for your boss. Since you are liable to pay him 50,000 any day he wants, it is a liability for you. Are you getting this? Are you getting this, AM? Next, just give me a second. SK, there was one question about deposit. How deposit received is a liability for you. So let's say AR, I am your tenant and I have given you 30,000 rupees as deposit. And let's say I move out of your house the next week. I have taken my own house and I move out of your house next month. So you are liable to pay me back that 30,000, right? Can you spend that 30,000? Can you spend that 30,000 taking this deposit from me based on your choice? Definitely no. So who is that owner of 30,000? It's me. So it is an asset for me. And you can't spend this 30,000 because this is a liability for you. And if you spend, you will have to arrange for 30,000 and give it to me. So always remember, if who is the owner? If you are the owner, it is an asset for you. If the counterparty is the owner, it is a liability for you. Okay, the next one. The situation, sir, I mean liability or an asset. Sir, if the worker utilize that money, then what will be the situation? I mean, it would be a liability. It would be definitely a liability for him. So RT is saying that advance salary is taken by the worker and he has used all that money. So in that case, he will have to work extra hours and settle that money because it would be a liability for a worker to pay that. Now, what is working capital loan? With working capital loan, we will understand first what is working capital. Working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. Current assets minus current liabilities. So let's say, taking one example, I have accounts receivable of 10 lakh rupees or 10 million. I have accounts receivable of 10 million and I have accounts payable of 3 million. It means that I have taken 3 million worth of credit from suppliers, credit. I should use the word taken from suppliers. And here I have given 10 million worth of credit given to customers. So the difference between current asset, account receivable is an example of current asset. Let's say this is the representative of current asset, although there can be other line items as well. But to keep things simple and make you understand, I am giving this example. Let's say current liabilities is account payable. I have taken 3 million of credit and I have given 10 million of credit. The difference is 7 million. That is my working capital, which is this 7 million. What does this says? This 7 million says that to keep my business functioning, I have to keep or invest 7 million from my own pocket. If you see logically, when I sold 10 million of goods on credit, 3 million was been funded by my suppliers. Do I need 10 million to do I need 10 million rupees? Do I need 10 million rupees to make a sale of 10 million? No, definitely no. Then how much money I need? I need 7 million. Why? Because the rest of the 3 million is being funded by my suppliers. My suppliers are funding this money for 20 to 30 days. And for that period, the money is funded by my suppliers. And I will have to invest just 7 million to do deals or to make sales worth 10 million. Are you guys getting this? Are you guys getting this? So 7 million is the amount I will be funding from my own pocket. Now the question is, how will I arrange from that 7 million? The question is, how will I arrange for that 7 million? Either I could take equity for that 7 million, or else I could take loan to arrange for 7 million of amount. And the loan taken to fund that amount would be working capital loan, since you have made use of these loans in buying of current assets. Okay. So AM, do you want to you want explanation for working capital again, right? So you want explanation for working capital again, right? AM, shall we start? Let's suppose AM. AM, shall we start? Are you there? Guys, please don't mention your queries on the question Q&A box. Please mention it in the chat box itself. AM, are you there, Apurv? Please let me know if you're there or not. Okay. So let's say AM, you are a shopkeeper. Let's say you are a shopkeeper and you made sales worth on credit worth rupees 20 million to your customers. You give 20 million worth of products to your customers on credit. So you might have purchased goods from your shopkeepers and you transferred those goods to your customers worth 20 million. So 20 million is the credit offered to your customers by you. Are you getting this? So to fund this, to fund this 20 million, you needed to put 20 million from your own pocket. So you will put 20 million worth of asset, give it on the credit to your customers. This is what you will do. Are you getting this, AM? AM, are you getting this? Who will fund this 20 million for you? Either you will have to fund it, or else what you can do is, what you can say to your supplier that, sir, I have a big order. Please give credit to me. Please give some credit to me. So let's say supplier gave you 3 million worth of credit. So 20 million out of that 20 million that needed to be arranged, 3 million is being funded by your supplier. Now remaining 17 million, you can either fund this from your own pocket. If you fund this from your own pocket, it would be a equity for you, equity contribution by you. If you take loan for this, it would be, or borrow this, it would be a working capital loan. Have you got this, Apurv? Are you clear with this? Apurv, are you clear with this? Perfect. Tell me what is next one, SK. accumulated depreciation. Now, we saw yesterday what is depreciation and amortization. We also saw amortization was also something that needed to be discussed. So let's discuss first amortization. Yes, that those sheets are for next few lectures because it was just coming in the same module. So we have 3 sheets in this module and I shared all those 3 sheets with you. Don't worry, we will try to solve each and every sheet together. Don't worry, you'd have to do nothing about it. Just keep it saved on your desktop. I'll share those sheets, PJ. Just give me some time. Let me just complete the discussion parts and then I'll share the sheets to you. Is it okay? Now, what is amortization? Amortization is nothing but, yeah, but I am not allowed to take the whole full names. That's why I take short form of your names to use. I hope you don't mind. Amortization. Amortization is nothing but depreciation on intangible assets. This is what we discussed yesterday. So if a patent that was taken for 10 years was valued at 10 lakhs or 10 million, the same patent with useful life of rest 5 years will be valued at 5 million. So patent was an asset and the decrease in the value of patent of minus 5 million is basically an amortization for you. Is basically amortization for you. Okay. Now, what is accumulated depreciation or accumulated amortization? In income statement, we reported depreciation. This depreciation was reported in year 2020, 2021, and let's say the company was started in 2020. So some depreciation was reported in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So the sum of all the depreciations that have been reported in all these years, right from the inception of the company, is called accumulated depreciation. What it is called? It is called accumulated depreciation. So I have my gross assets, gross fixed assets. I subtract accumulated depreciation and I get my net fixed assets. Okay. So gross fixed assets exclude depreciation. If I subtract depreciation from it, I get my net fixed assets. Clear? So amortization is depreciation on intangible assets. AM. What is amortization? Amortization is depreciation on intangible assets. Yes, depreciation is an expense, but once depreciation, sum of all depreciations that has been occurred till now, it is a contra asset. What is a contra asset? Contra asset is an asset that reduces the value. Contra asset is something that reduces the value of an asset. Intangible means intangible is something that you can't feel or touch. Intangible is something that you can't really touch, like patents, copyrights. What are tangible assets? Land, property. Depreciation charged on car is a contra asset. No, car is not a contra asset, but depreciation charged on car is a contra asset. Car is a depreciating asset, not a contra asset. Car is a depreciating asset. So don't get confused, right? Contra asset is, so just give me a second. Every one of you are getting confused in what is contra asset. You had some gross fixed assets. Now, what is this gross fixed asset? Let's say, let's say AR for his business bought something worth rupees 10 million. Let's say that something is machinery. AR for his business bought machinery worth rupees 10 million. And after 1 year, the asset was depreciated by 1 million. Asset was depreciated by 1 million. Where this 10 million will be showing, it will be shown in balance sheet, right? So the value of this 10 million worth of assets has decreased with 1 million, and now it's 9 million. That 9 million, that 9 million is basically net asset for you. Why the price or why the value of the fixed assets has decreased from 10 million to 9 million? Because of this element, that is accumulated depreciation or depreciation. And that is why, since it is reducing the value of the asset, it is called contra asset. Don't worry, we will do this. We will do this while solving the case studies. In that case, you will understand it in a better way. Don't worry, we will do this while solving in the case study. But have you got the 80 or 90% clarity on this? Yes, SK. So all the depreciations that has been occurred till today, we will take a sum of this and we will take it as accumulated depreciation. Okay, SK. Next one. To know that what is the total amount of depreciation that has been charged till today. To know that what is the total number of depreciations that have been charged till today. That is the logic behind showing accumulated depreciation. Okay. Reserves and surplus. Finally, we have some net income that has been generated by the company. This net income belongs to whom? Who gets this net income at the end of the day? Who is the who should get this net income? This net income should belong to whom? When you make a profit out of your company, that profit belongs to whom? Correct. Correct. So we have some net income, and this net income belongs to equity holders. So either what equity holders can do, equity holders can take out their shares from this net income as dividend, or what else they can do, they can keep that net income as it is in the company, so that company could expand, so that company could use that net income for expansion purposes. They can do that, right? Because they are the owner of the company and they want company to expand. So they, rather than taking that net income out of the company, they keep it itself in the company. And when they keep it in the company itself, it is called retained earnings. What is it called? It is called retained earnings. And this retained earnings is a part of equity. Why? Because it is same like owner contributing their amount to the business, also called as reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus. Why? Because out the net income that company can have been distributed to the equity holders, the net income that may be distributed to its equity holder has been reserved by the company, and that is the reason why it comes under the heading called reserves and surplus, and that is reserves and surplus for you, also called as retained profit. Also called as retained profit. So clear, guys, everyone? with all the line items? If yes, please let me know. Yes. So basically, business is a separate entity from its owner. That is something that has been followed and a major accounting principle. Some income can be distributed and some can be held. The income that is distributed is called dividend, and that has been reserved for future expansion is called retained earnings and belongs to reserves and surplus. No, stakeholders are not exactly equity holders. Equity holder is one of the example of stakeholders. There are debt holders who is also a stakeholder in the company. There are customers who are stakeholders. Government is a stakeholder in the company. Yes, PJ, definitely. Mentioning one amount repeatedly will be represented wrong in the balance sheet. So basically, Soumya is asking, are stakeholders and shareholders same? Shareholders are also called as equity holders. But when it comes to stakeholders is a broader subheading which comprises of customers. It means that your customer are your stakeholder. Anyone who interacts with your business is your stakeholder for the business. Equity holder, debt holder, preference shareholders. What else? Government, taxing authorities, your landlord. These are these are the stakeholders of the business. Okay. And equity holder is just one type of stakeholder. Now, are you clear with this, Soumya? Yes, employees are also the stakeholders of the company. Everyone clear with this? Yes, suppliers are stakeholders as well. So if everyone is clear with this, please let me know. Yes, debt holders are bond and debenture holders. They are also called as stakeholders. You are right about it. So guys, are you clear with this? Preference shares. We will discuss that in coming lecture. Don't worry about that, PJ. So if you know it, it's very good, but it is something that is irrelevant from today's class. So you will learn it in the future class. Don't worry about it. Okay. So I'm uploading the sheet on chat box. The sheet or the notes have been uploaded in the chat box. You can go through that and allow me to start with the modeling part. Shall we start with the case studies, guys? If you guys allow me. Shall we start with the case study? Perfect. If you have logged in through phone, don't worry. Okay, okay, okay. I'll wait a minute. I'll wait a minute. So guys, we will have to wait a couple of minutes because there are few people who have logged in through phone and they just want to turn on their computers or laptops or PCs, whatever device that they are using. So we will just wait a couple of minutes for them. Meanwhile, if you can open your laptop, you can open your laptop. Start, keep watching the lecture on your mobile device and please open the sheet on your laptop. You want me to share the sheet again and again? How is it possible, TB? Tell me to share the sheet. Why you guys didn't download it? Soumya and TV, why didn't you download the sheet while it was shared in the earlier part of the class? Okay, it was shared in today's class as well. So if you guys are ready, how many of you are ready? If you are ready, please let me know so that we can start. Okay, GA is ready. Acer, Neil, Kriti is ready. TB is ready. Okay, let's start. Shall I start or shall I wait? Does anyone of you want me to wait? Okay, okay. I'll wait. Recent files one time more. Don't worry, is Excel or is a different app? It's almost same. Don't worry. It's same. It's just the different format of Excel. So both of them are same. Okay. Due to unavoidable, and I have got this not this sheet. How can I get this sheet? So this sheet has been shared multiple times on the chat box. If you can see the chat box, you can download the sheet, or else the sheet has been also been uploaded on the LMS. So if you are able to get this, the sheet has for the last time, guys, the sheet has been uploaded on the LMS. Please get it downloaded and please allow me to start. PK sir, shall I start? Okay, few people have raised their hands. Okay, I'll wait for last 2 minutes. It will be uploaded on LMS by today evening. Yes, AM. Tell me, how can I help you? What about the Excel sheet? It's not opening. You so there might be an issue with your. I don't know what is the issue. Can you just use enable editing and try? Yes, now it is not available in the LMS. It will be uploaded by today. By EOD today, it will be uploaded. Shall we start, guys? Yes, that is the sheet, and I have shared this Excel sheet as well. So, so shall we start, guys? Everyone? No Excel sheet. Excel sheet is also been shared in the chat box. PG. Okay, let me share it again because it is not opening. Just give me a second. Please check the sheet. Sheet has been uploaded again. Prachi, can you see that sheet? The sheet has been uploaded again. If you have joined from the, if you have joined from, yes, yes, it will be uploaded on the LMS, but I fear that once people miss this out, they won't be able to cope up with us. That's why I'm waiting for everyone to start. Okay, perfect. Now it's high time, guys. We should start. The sheet will be uploaded on LMS. If the sheet is not available to you, it's been shared on the chat box probably 10th time now. So it's high time you should have joined the class on time. That's what I would suggest. Follow this from next time. So let's start. Let's start. Now this is my income statement. What is the bottom line of my income statement called? What is the bottom line of my income statement called? It's net income. Very good. Or net profit. It's net income or net profit. Total in balance sheet. In the liability section, I will get my total liabilities. In assets, I will get my total assets. And in the cash flow statement, I will get my net cash flows. Net cash flows for the period. So let's start. Let's start. Rupees 1 lakh of capital. So in liability, we also have one different column that is equity, right? So capital introduced in the business is worth rupees 1 lakh. Capital introduced in the business is worth rupees 1 lakh. So what is capital introduced? It's equity for me, right? And worth 1 lakh of capital is introduced. It means that I might have received this 1 lakh in cash. Now, what is 1 lakh? It's basically 100,000. So if you are not comfortable with 1 lakh, it's just 100,000. Okay. Capital introduced is 1 lakh. What would be the second entry for this? What would be the second entry for this, guys? Please let me know. What would be the second entry for this? We have double entry in bookkeeping, right? So 1 lakh is the part of liability under equity. Then we have 1 lakh coming as cash inflow. Very good. 1 lakh coming as cash inflow. This 1 lakh is my cash inflow. Next, everyone clear with this? Have you got this, everyone? Perfect. Next, computer purchase worth rupees 20,000. What are computers? Computers are my assets. And what is the amount? 20,000 worth of computer is purchased. Now, to purchase this computer, I have paid rupees 20,000. So that is a cash outflow for me. Computers purchased. Next, rent paid rupees 10,000. What is rent? Rent is my expense. We saw today itself, rent is an expense. Rent paid, rent expense is 10,000. Again, a cash outflow worth rupees 10,000. Why? Since the rent has been paid. Deposit paid rupees 20,000. What is deposit? How did we categorize deposits? It's an asset for us. Very good. And amount is 20,000. Deposit paid. Next, buy 100 books worth rupees 100 per book. So I am in the business of trading of books. So buy 100 books worth rupees 100 per book. This is nothing but my inventory. Inventory. That is 100 books worth rupees 100 per book. Everyone with me? Everyone with me? Amount paid after 30 days. Amount paid after 30 days. That means that I owe 10,000 to my supplier. I owe 10,000 to my supplier. So this is my accounts payable. In India known as sundry debtors, sundry creditors, sorry, sundry creditors. Sundry debtors are my customers who take goods on credit. Accounts payable 10,000. Next, so Soumya, I have purchased 100 books worth rupees 100 per book. So 10,000 rupees worth of book will be available in my balance sheet. Okay. So that is inventory for me. Since I have not paid this amount yet, expenses are always the part of income statement except capex, except capital expenditure. All the expenses will be the part of income statement. Also, 10,000 I have not paid yet. So that is the liability for me. I will have to pay it. That is why in accounts receivable, accounts payable. Sell 50 books for rupees 200 per book. Sell 50 books worth rupees 200 per book. So I will record a revenue. Revenue worth how much? Revenue worth 50 into 200. Then if there is a revenue, there is some cost incurred to sell those books. So what is that cost? It's COGS, cost of goods sold. And what we will do with this COGS? We will less this COGS. So what is the COGS? I have purchased these 50 books at rupees 50. So this is my COGS, which is 2,500. Okay. Also, am I done with it? Or will my inventory reduce? So over here, guys, please pay attention. This is one of the most important ones. Yes, I'm repeating it again. You guys were clear with all these three, right? This is one of the most important one. I'll highlight this. Sell 50 books for rupees 200 per book. Sell 50 books worth rupees 200 per book. It means that you have made the revenue or you have recorded a sales. You have made some sales. What is the amount of that sales? It's 200 into 50. Am I correct? It's 200 into 50. That is the amount for this sales. Everyone clear with this? Everyone clear with this? Okay. Next thing, if I have made this 10,000 rupees of sales, is all this 10,000 my profit? No. If I have made 10,000 rupees of sales, is all this 10,000 my profit? No. Then what is my profit? My profit is what if I calculate the gross profit? If I calculate the gross profit, what will be my gross profit? What will be my gross profit? Sales minus COGS. Now, what is my COGS? If I have sold 50 books, at what price did I bought those books? I bought those books at 100 rupees. So this is my this is my gross profit. Everyone, revenue minus COGS. This is my gross profit. Everyone with me? Everyone with me? Have you got this? Now, am I done? Am I done? No. Amount received in 30 days. Amount will be received in 30 days. So I will be receiving it in 30 days. It would be account receivable for me. It would be account receivable for me is equals to 200 into 50. That is 10,000 worth of account receivable. Also, am I done? No, I am not done yet. I am not done yet. Why? Because since I have made the sales of 50 books, since I have made the sales of 50 books, there would be 50 less books in my inventory now. So less inventory sold. There would be 50 less books in my inventory. So it would be minus 50 into 100. This much amount of less books will be available in my inventory. Now there is operating expense, only rent expense. Let's check whether my assets and liabilities are getting matched or not. Is equals to sum of this. This is my gross profit. How will I come to net profit? Gross profit minus operating expenses. Rent is the only expense over here. We have a net, not a net profit, but a net loss. Net profit is not present, but it is a net loss. Net loss of 5,000 rupees. Now this net profit or net loss will be part of my retained earnings, because who will be bearing this loss? Earlier I had invested 1 lakh rupees, out of which 5,000 rupees is the loss. Now the only investment available is 95,000. So my total liability and equity is sum of all these. Why this 1 lakh is? Okay, clear? Everyone? Let's check the total of assets. Just a second, guys. Just a second. Don't know what happened. Screen is all zoomed up, right? Screen is zoomed. What can you see in the screen, guys? Please let me know what screen is not visible now. Okay, just give me a second. I think there has been some technical glitch. Just give me a second. Now, what can you see on the screen? The magnifier is opened. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, okay, it's visible now, right? Magnified screen. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, now it's all right, correct? So this is my total assets. This is my total liabilities. My liabilities and assets are not getting matched because cash is left, and cash is the most important component of one of the most important component of balance sheet. Still, I am not seeing. Still, my balance sheet is not tallying. What may be the reason of my balance sheet not getting matched? What may be the reason? Rent paid is 10,000, correct? So when we adjusted it, retained earnings is actually not the reason. Rent paid over here should be same as rent expense, and now it is getting matched. Everyone clear with this? We had not taken sales because sales in the cash flow because we will we are going to receive it in future. That is why it's account receivable. It can come both. It cannot be in both. It cannot be in receivable as well as in cash. So that is the reason being we didn't take in cash. Everyone clear with this? Do you need time to solve this yourself? Delete all this and try to solve this yourself. Do you need time for it to check whether you will be able to do it on your own or not? If you're stuck anywhere, you can ask me. So if you want time, we can wait for 5 minutes. You can finish this. If not, we can move ahead. Or else, if you need a break, you can let me know. If amount received in cash. Okay. Shall we continue? In asset, how we added 50,000? Because cash is the part of asset, and cash balance should always be reflecting on the balance sheet. That is why we added 50,000. Getting this, guys? Okay, perfect. Next, again making a section for equity. Capital introduced in the business. Computer purchased, rent paid, deposit paid by 100 books worth rupees 100 per book. So initial few line items are same. Some of the line items are same. So I will be quick in this. I will be quick in this. Let's see what we will be doing. Capital introduced. It is in the equity section of the liability because capital is something that is contributed by the owner, and anything contributed by owner is equity for the company because a business is a separate entity from its owner. So if the owner is contributing anything to the business, it is a liability for the business. Okay. We just like just for the basic reason why, because owner is the separate and the business is the separated entity from its owner. Capital introduced is 1 lakh. Computer purchased. Computer purchased worth rupees 20,000. Also cash outflow of 20,000. The reason being computer is purchased. Next, rent paid. Rent expenses. Deposit paid. Now buy 100 books worth rupees 100 per book. Important one, revenue is 100 into 100. Sell 50 books for rupees 200 per book. Okay, sorry, it's not sell, but it's buy. Very good. Very good. At least someone highlighted this. Buying is not revenue. Inventory 100 into 100. Very good, Dheeraj. Since it is not on credit, it has been not been said to us that it is on credit. Paid to suppliers. Sold 150 books for rupees 200 per book. Pintu, can you just lower your hand because your hand is consistently kept raised? What next? Where were I? Sell 50 books. Revenue 50 books for 200 per book. Less COGS. What is COGS? We bought 50 books for rupees 100. So my gross profit would be 5,000. Again, I think there are some more revenue and gross profit. So I'll not mention it this way. COGS is 5,000 less inventory 5,000. Also, since this is not on credit, revenue is received from customers. Sure. So what is COGS? Prachi, what is COGS? It's cost of goods sold. It's cost of goods sold. Okay. So when we see cost of goods sold, what do we mean by cost of goods sold? It means that the cost, what is the cost that we incurred to buy those goods that we have sold? So 50 books was sold for 200 rupees. 50 books was sold for 200 rupees. But what was the cost of purchasing those 50 books? It was 50 into 100 because it is 100 rupees per book. So that is why the cost of goods sold is 50 into 100. Now, did you get this? Prachi, did you got this? Perfect. Let's move on to the next part. Buy 100 books worth rupees 100 per book, same transaction. Again, revenue is not a part when we buy books. Inventory. Again, recording inventory of 10,000. But this time amount is being paid after 30 days. So accounts payable. Accounts payable. What is accounts payable? It's the amount of inventory that we have purchased. Again, sold 50 books. But this time it would be, yes, again, less inventory worth rupees 50 into 100. And that would be my COGS as well. Why did you not mention P&L statement in purchase? Because it is depend on the nature of this computer or bookseller. So this is a bookseller. That is why we have not mentioned that in the P&L. You can see, right, all the information is provided as with respect to bookseller. So that is why computer is a part of fixed asset. So what Chandan is saying in the Q&A box, and again, I'm repeating, guys, don't put questions on Q&A box. It won't be possible for me to open multiple tabs. If I open multiple tabs here and there, you won't be able to see that on your screen, but I will have to keep it open so that I can get your doubts. So don't put questions on Q&A box. Put question on chat box. So Chandan is saying that computer purchase can be recorded as COGS as well, right? How you recorded in assets? Because he is a bookseller and computer is an asset for me. If I would have been a computer supplier, I would have taken it in income statement in place of COGS or something. But since or else I would have taken computer in my inventory. But I am not a computer supplier. This business is not about computers. This is about books, and that is the reason being computers are my fixed assets. Okay, did I miss something? Less inventory 5,000 revenue. Yes, accounts receivable. And that is 10,000. Salary of rupees 5,000. Salary again is an expense. because because I have kept inventories separate, although you can add these and mention it in this one single asset. But to make you understand what is happening, there has been books purchased two times. Once on cash, paid to suppliers, and once on credit over here. That is why I have mentioned inventory two times. Are you getting this, PG? PG, have you got this? Why I have mentioned inventory two times? This box in it should be okay. I'll keep this 5,000. My gross profit is revenue minus costs, revenue minus costs. This is my gross profit. I guess am I done with everything except salary expenses? Salaries paid. Now this again net income is 5,000. Total liability that's net loss, correct? Cash. So my check line is getting matched. Okay, here it was just initial two cases. Net loss, why? Because it is minus 5,000, which represents there is a loss. Okay, here we took cash flow statement as usual. We didn't differentiated all the cash flows, but from next case onwards, we are going to differentiate the cash flows into various types. So if you are done with this, please let me know so that we can move ahead. This time we are not going to use this approach. We will delete this approach and we will use everyone. Guys, are you done? Okay, you need time. Okay, okay, okay. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. Don't worry. Retained earnings. Retained earnings came from net profit or net loss that the company has generated. That is my retained earnings. Please ask doubt, guys. If you have any doubt in this, please ask me. So let's suppose you own a factory in NM. Let's suppose you own a factory and I have taken that factory from on lease from you. So I will have to give you some deposit, right? So let's say I gave you 5 lakhs for the deposit, and when I will exit your factory or the exit your property, you will have to pay me that back 5 lakh. So that is deposit paid. Yes, if we have profit, we have also retained earnings. Gross profit is all sum of revenue is equals to revenue, that is this revenue plus this revenue minus COGS, that is this COGS plus this COGS. Yes, yes, yes. SD practice is the key to succeed. PW, are you cool with okay? ANSD can be taken as liability. What is ANSD? Okay. Yes, if we have earnings as well, it will be in liability. And So retained earnings. Maybe we can. I don't think this is the point where we can discuss about it. We will be going something out of the topic, but surely you can raise a ticket. I would be happy to know your plan and we can have a discussion over it. Although you can do it using Kindle or something, but I won't get touch those topics here in the class. Explain retained earnings. Yes, I will. Can be taken as liability. Yes, it can be taken as liability if there is net profit as well. Sir, once open the sheet, once, sir. Okay, I will. Don't worry. Just give my cash are not coming. 45,000. I don't know what the reason is. Just check is all the values that you have mentioned same or not. Show me the formula. One is for what? For what do you want to see the formula PW? Sir, can you add dividend part in case 2? Dividend is something that is introduced in case 3, I guess. If not, there are multiple cases that we need to. And how will a company distribute dividend if there is no net income? So we cannot add dividend part in case 2. But dividend is something that will be introduced in the next case, I guess. And if it is not, we will introduce it ourselves. Coming to gross profit. Now let's suppose I infuse 1 lakh rupees in my business. Yes, no, if there is profit, it will again be reflected in the liability side. Yes, loss will also be law both. So this is not about retained earnings is not about being in a profit or being in a loss. Both loss and profit belongs to the equity shareholders, and that is why it is the part of the equity. And since equity is the part of the liability, it has been represented on the liability side. But try to understand the idea why it is the part of equity, because both profit or loss that the business makes belongs to its owner. So if company makes the profit and owners gives that profit to the business, it is contribution by the owner. On the other hand, if it is a loss, it is a loss by the owner. So that is why retained earnings, whether it may be a profit or a loss, it is part of the liability. Prachi, are you clear with this? PG, are you clear with this? Shall we go ahead? Okay, you're not clear with this. Perfect. So let's say, uh, PG, do you agree? PG, do you agree that both net profit and net loss belongs to the owner? Do you agree to this? Okay. So let's suppose I have contributed 1 lakh rupees in my business and 5,000 is the loss that I have incurred in my business. So what is the amount left that I have contributed? Who will suffer that loss of 5,000? I am going to suffer that loss. So what is the contribution of mine in the business now? It is 95,000 that is left. Are you getting this? 95,000 is the amount that is left of the contribution. Apart from that, let's say if the net income would have been 15,000. Let's say if this would have been a net income of 15,000. In that case, this 15,000. So there are two Prachi in the class. One is PG and one is PJ. So PG asked this doubt. So it is about her. So don't worry, Prachi. That is PJ. So PG, if this 15,000 has been retained by the business, it means that the owner has kept this 15,000 in the business. It has been retained by the business. Don't you think that this 15,000 owner could have taken it back and contributed back to the business? So that is the owner's contribution to the business. Don't you think so? This profit is the owner's contribution to the business, PG. Are you getting this, PG? PG, are you getting this? Sure, sure. I'll share this sheet as well. Capstone projects, no. There are no capstone related projects. I don't know what you're talking about. PG, are you done with this? So PJ is replying, although she didn't ask the doubt, but PG asked the doubt and she is not replying. I don't know. PG, are you clear with this? Sure. Let's go ahead. This is case 3. Now in case 3, we will move a bit step ahead and we will try to name my cash flow statement under 3 headings, that is cash flow from operation, cash flow from investment, and cash flow from financing activities. Okay. Once I'm done with that, I will get my net cash flows. Then I might have some my opening cash flows for the year. Net cash flows during the year. Now I will try to make my model in such a way, because what happens sometimes is we miss certain line item and then we forget there are multiple line items in this. I will try to make my 3 statement model in such a way that every transaction should reflect both in my asset and liability side. For that, I will have to follow some steps. Let's see what are those steps. Since there is no month zero, we have not, uh, we don't have an extending balance, outstanding balance. There is new business that has been started. So I will remove this month zero part. Okay, so I will delete this. I will delete this column as well. Opening cash flows, net cash flows during the period, CFO, CFI, CFF. Perfect. Let me just see this. CFO, CFI, CFF. Then, okay. What would be my net cash flow? Cash flow from financing activities. Cash or total cash. Cash flow from investing activities. And total cash flow from op operating activities. What are my net cash flows? It's CFO plus CFI plus CFF. My opening cash balance was 0. My net cash flows are this, and that would give me my closing cash balance. That is this plus this. Now coming to asset, I will link my model in such a way that everything gets reflected everywhere. So for liability, I have to give a part equity, and then there are retained earnings. So are you getting this? How that 3 statement model, how all the 3 financial statements are connected to each other? Let me just get done with this and then I'll explain. why it is important for three financial statements to get matched. One difference, even a one single penny of difference in any of these financial statements will make my asset and liability not get matched, and it means that I have made a blunder. My check is my assets minus liability. Here I'll use the sum approach. Okay, in assets, everything will reflected via cash balance. What is my total CFO? This is my total CFO. Done, 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 done. Very good. Cash balance, done, done, done. Total assets, total liabilities, net income, hopefully. So my changes in what is CFI, cash flow from investing activities, and cash flow from financing activities. My net income, my net income has been reflected in my balance sheet through liabilities and retained earnings. The difference in my cash flow is reflected in my cash balance through assets, and all these three statements are interlinked to each other. Getting this? Everyone, have you got what we have done over here? In order to reflect each and every statement accurately in my asset and liability side, we have done this. This net income will be reflected in retained earnings. There is no opening cash flow because this business has just been started yet. In next class, we are going to see an example where we will be making financial statement for our existing company. And in that case, we will be using opening balance and closing balances. This is my closing cash balance. This will be reflected in over here. And my assets and liabilities should match each other. This is the check line. Are you getting the interlinkage, guys? The interlinkage between the three financial statements. Cash balance, I have linked this with closing cash balance. So tell me, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to start this, or else what we can do is if you want, we can start this in next class as well. If you feel okay, okay, some of you are saying next class, most of you are saying let's start. It will take, we will revise, we can try it on our own. Okay. TG, except you, everyone is suggesting us for the next class. Guys, please vote. Next class, can we try as homework? Although you can try it as homework, although we will be discussing this in next class. It would be too much for today. Next class, next class, next. Good with either way. आज बहुत हो गया. PG, but did you understood that retained earnings wala part? How to use interlinks, sir? So you don't really used to. I am explaining this to you. That is why I am using these diagrams. You don't actually have to use it. Don't worry. This has nothing to do with finance part, but it is about the teaching prodigy. So you don't really have to worry about it. AV is saying this class, sir. Let us try it ourselves at home. And what PK sir is saying. So most of you guys want to try it on your own, and let's see whether you are able to do it yourself or not. Let me just share this sheet as well. Yes, this sheet will also be uploaded on the LMS, although it will the meeting be in the weekend or weekday. Actually, the technical team is on the leave today, so that's why the sheet might have not been uploaded, although I have shared it with them. I hope you understand it's not. So what you can do, PG, is just raise a ticket about it, and for sure your issue will be resolved. So just raise a ticket about it and your issue will be resolved. Meanwhile, please let me know who want what sheet. Now, meanwhile, please let me know what sheets do you want that is being covered by me. I will upload that sheet on the chat box. Please let me know what sheets do you want. Share whiteboard. Okay, you want whiteboard. The whiteboard sheet that was covered in today's class, if I'm not wrong. Okay. What is today's date? 21. The particular workbook on which I am working. Okay. So kindly there share the sheet. The class happened on 13th April. Okay. On 13th April, I guess we completed advanced Excel classes, right, Soumya? Okay. Just a second. The workbook that we just completed now is also been uploaded. Now, this is for batch 1224. These Excel sheets are for batch 1224. Just give me a minute. Let me just find those sheets and I'll send it to you. Excel. Sorry, 1223. 1223, not 1224. Excel. Excel class sheet 1. Class sheet 3. And class sheet. Okay. Yes, you will have regular classes on 6:45 on Saturdays and Sundays. Just give me a second. Excel class sheet. Hmm. Class sheet 2 is uploaded. Class sheet. Actually, these timings are with the help of consensus GY. So although you can raise a ticket about it, but it won't be possible. Probably after next 2 months, because since recently the timings have been changed, it is not possible to change it again and again. But after next 2 months, okay, this is perfect timing. Most of you say that. AV says that this is perfect timing. This on interview. Yeah, interviewer can test you on these questions and class sheet one. So class sheet one, two, and three are being uploaded. Okay, this was for 1, 2, 2, 3 batch, for which I have covered the advanced Excel classes. Yes, this will be fixed. No worries, no worries. But the lectures will be uploaded on LMS, so you don't have to worry about it actually. Yes, it is made with respect to working professionals. So okay, guys, thanks a lot. That was it for the day. If you have received all the class sheets and everything about the lecture is done, we can end the class. If you have any doubts, we can have a discussion on it. So is there any doubts? Waiting for your feedback, guys. We will meet next week again. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you. Thanks a lot. This sheet are being shared to you on chat box, and it will also be uploaded on the LMS. Thank you, PK sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone. This sheet is not opening. Soumya, please raise a ticket about it, and I'll make sure that you receive. PJ, this is suggestion that I agree with you, but there are some rules by management that I can't. You can raise a ticket for sure, PJ, and I will be able to help you out. We will have a session and I'll try to help you out. Yes, I know it was too much for the day. That is why I am leaving you guys a couple of minutes early. So, love, either those who have not received the sheets on the chat box before, the reason might be you have to have connected through the phone. That is why. In that case, please raise a ticket for getting that sheets on the LMS. Yes, PJ, I agree with you. Although I will forward this suggestion to the management and let's see what happens. So thank you guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks a lot. We'll catch up on next Saturday. Definitely we will have some exciting sessions. Yes, timings will be same. Timing will be same for the rest of your course. I guess yes, there would be a couple of classes that would be about mock interviews and something related to those. So don't worry about it. Can I raise a ticket for the sheet also? Yes, you can raise a ticket for the sheet as well. You have a WhatsApp or Telegram group. No, it won't be possible. Week 3 minimum for financial modeling. So we will be done. Yes, AM. 4 to 6, there was no class scheduled for 4 to 6. How did you came with that timing? I don't know. We deducted, na said. Rent paid is an rent expense and that has been deducted. So yeah, batches have been, the timings have been changed and this is the new timing, that is 6:45 to 4:45. It was due to the consensus that we look into while deciding the timing. So the new timings are 4 to 6 classes showing. That is probably a technical glitch. Don't worry, there was no such class scheduled for 4 to 6. So don't worry, don't really worry about it. There was no such class scheduled for 4 to 6. So that's it, guys. Thanks you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for being till here. Yes, AM, but there is no such class that is 4 to 6 from now. You will be having classes from 4:45 to 6:45. Thank you, KG. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of the week. Yes. Till completion AM.